Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to share about the use of AI in financial services and its impact on education. My name is Hock. I am the founding president of the Singapore Fintech Association and the chairman for the Blockchain Association Singapore. First, let me share about the development history of artificial intelligence or AI. AI is a broad concept that started in 1940s. The earlier motivation is about making intelligent machines. Since the 1980s, a sub-branch called machine learning started. It's about making machines learn on itself without being programmed explicitly. In the 2010s, another sub-branch of machine learning called deep learning started. It's about learning based on deep neural network, very much mimicking how a human brains work. And that is the field that is driving a lot of AI innovation now. So what are the key drivers of artificial intelligence? First, more and varied data or big data. Second, more computational power, especially due to the rise of cloud computing. Third, better algorithms, especially algorithms related to deep learning. These are some of the common AI use cases in finance by functional area. For example, in front office, financial advice through the use of robo-advisors are making investment management more accessible to the masses. And in terms of credit scoring, many financial technology companies or fintech are using alternative form of data, such as your social media data, to do credit scoring. Because in many emerging countries, many of the people do not have proper bank accounts. So they are not able to get credit from banks. In the middle office, anti-money laundering and know your customers, or what we commonly call regulatory technology or RegTech, is becoming more and more common, especially in the fields, especially used by the banks. And also AI is being used to help to fight cybersecurity. In the back office, operational automation, especially through the use of robotic process automation, helps to improve efficiency. AI is also being used to analyze large volumes of contract and to automate the collection of data. In terms of customer experience, remote onboarding allows a customer to open a bank account without visiting a branch. Also, chatbots are being used pervasively now to provide customer service or even enabling transactions. Here are some of the benefits of using AI in financial services. They are either helping to conduct transactions more efficiently, improving customer experience, reducing costs, improve anti-money laundering or KYC, and help in risk management. Some of the key challenges faced by banks in advancing AI applications are the following three areas: development, technical, and regulatory. In terms of development issues, a lack of AI talent is one of the key challenges. In terms of technical issues, some AI models are too difficult to explain and validate. And also there is a lack of quality data and sufficient measures for data protection. In terms of regulatory issues, there are compliance challenges about replacing human decision by AI, or even legal consequences of using AI in automating decisions. If we look at the building blocks of AI, we can classify it into data for the input. And in terms of the modeling and the outputs, they are machine learning and modeling. And deploying all these AI applications online, we will face risks in terms of cybersecurity. if you look at the past history, increasingly there are more and more incidents of data breaches, and so is the level of fines. In fact, in 2019, Equifax paid a total of $700 million in fines for a severe data breach a few years back. Therefore, safeguarding data quality and security is very important. Many banks will implement data governance framework to improve their data risk management so that there is assurance in the data quality and the proper use of big data. Data privacy and security are improved using things like access control or data sharing policy. The use of data warehousing will help in metadata management so there is consistency and standardization in data. Here are some of the problematic use of AI data models. First, security breaches. Internal and external actors could be involved in manipulating the output of data model by influencing the inputs. Technical faults relates to the lack of rigor in the data model design, validation, and testing due to the lack of AI expertise. Human biases refer to the psychological biases of the AI developers, or even AI decisions that reflect social inequalities related to gender or even racial. Usage faults refers to the use of open source third-party libraries in the model development that might not be properly validated by an in-house AI expertise that could lead to faulty predictions. Some of the key challenges faced by banks in AI model risk management. First and foremost, the shortage of talents with AI and machine learning expertise. There is stiff competition for data scientists, and also there's also a lack of expertise in assessing AI model risk. Second, insufficient data infrastructure. Either the bank do not have adequate computing resources to build data model and validate them, or there's a lack of quality data for model building. Third, compliance with regulations, which are evolving, and also this will increase the cost of compliance. There is also a paradigm shift in cybersecurity with AI components. Traditionally, an attacker will focus on classic vulnerability exploitation of online applications. But with increased use of AI applications, adversaries are focusing on attacking the AI model or the use of adversarial examples or even data poisoning to attack vulnerabilities in the AI online application. Moreover, with the rise of cloud computing to reduce cost and accelerate innovation, new risks are being presented. The use of cloud computing, if not done correctly, will lead to massive data breaches or even service disruption. Not just the banks are facing challenges in terms of AI development, the regulators are also facing challenges. More advanced techniques in data analytics requires the regulators to equip themselves with new skills. And the operation of machine learning driven data models are like black box. The results are difficult to explain. This increases the complexity for regulators to assess the underlying risks of the AI models. What is the impact of all this on education? According to the Michael Page Humans of AI Report 2020, use of AI will grow by 60% year on year from 2018 to 2025. Share of jobs requiring AI has grown by 4.5 times since 2013. And AI will eliminate 1.8 million jobs but create 2.3 million more. That is, AI will be net positive in terms of job creation. However, one of the biggest obstacles to this AI's growth will be the lack of AI experts. In fact, many banks indicated the difficulty in finding AI talent and the difficulty in using analytical techniques and explaining the AI model results as some of the key challenges in expanding the use of AI within the banks. And if we look at hiring trends of AI, first, segmentation of AI job types. In AI, there are many roles. From one spectrum of data labeling to the other end of data scientists, and in the middle, AI data analysts. So there is a need to train many roles in AI. Second, AI talents need to be cross-discipline trained because good AI developers will need to have good business sense, understand the industries that they are in, and the ability to explain AI models to business users. And for companies looking to use more AI, there's a need to change their mindset because AI is a long-term investment. They will not be able to get immediate results within the next 1 day or next 1 week. They need day-by-day improvement in the AI capability of their in-house talents. And also, quality data takes time to develop. Only over time can they get more value from the AI investments. Last but not least, is to build ecosystem that will nurture talents. Because competing to hire AI talent by offering higher salary will not sustainable in the long term. Companies need to provide a conducive environment for their AI talent to remain with you. Also, increasingly, many governments are focusing on the ethical and responsible use of AI. For example, in 2018, the Monetary Authority of Singapore unveiled the FIT principles to promote responsible use of AI and data analytics. First, fairness, whereby the use of personal attributes as input factors must be justified and that individuals or groups of individuals are not systematically disadvantaged based on their race or gender. Second, ethics. Ethical standards, values, and code of conduct must be equivalent to that of human-driven decisions. Accountability. Internal approvals must be in place, and awareness must be pervasive among the staff. And management will be accountable whether the AI model is developed in-house or outsourced to third parties. And there must be proper appeals process for customers to appeal to decisions made by AI. Last but not least, there must be proper transparency, whereby there is proactive disclosure to the data subjects, how the data has been used, and how it impacts them. To conclude, AI has come of age with the use of AI in financial services and is rapidly expanding. So is the risk related to AI, from data modeling to supervision to cybersecurity. With the rise in opportunities and challenges, more AI talent will be needed. That means more education to train AI talents is critical. And there are some AI talents to note. First, AI roles are wide-ranging and segmented. Not everyone wants or can be a data scientist, but many of them can be highly data literate and able to do, for example, labeling or data visualization. AI needs to be interdisciplinary and be cross-trained in multiple areas to increase their effectiveness. And through an ecosystem-based approach, you will be more able to retain AI talent. And organizations need a mindset change because AI investment is long-term. Last but not least, AI should be used responsibly and ethically with proper accountability and transparency to end users. Thank you.